Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I made it out. I made it out this weekend. The weather's taken a turn for the better. Very typical summer days up here in northern Arizona over the last week, which means, 90, 95 degrees, but dry and just beautiful. Not a cloud in the sky. Not a sliver of a cloud in the sky. And because of that, the humidity is gone. So it's dry and hot and it's beautiful out. So I made it out. It's actually Saturday today, which is not usually, unless I'm doing an overnighter, it's not usually out on Saturday. I try to go out on Fridays. Busier coming up here. A lot of enduro motorcycles and stuff. Some really cool, there must be some really cool trails because there's a lot of bikes, a lot of people out because of how beautiful the weather is. I thought I was, I said last week how I like to get out early when it's hot. And so I was thinking this week, I'm like, get out early? Well, why don't you make breakfast? Because I love making breakfast. I love breakfast. But the funny thing about breakfast is I never make it at home. I never have breakfast, even though I love it. Isn't that weird? So I thought, get out early and make breakfast. Well, it's 11 o'clock and I'm just getting up here. I'm going to admit it. I got caught up watching police chases on TV. There was some crazy ones, man. So I watched like an hour or so of that. And then I'm like, all right, I have to go. That stuff hooks you in, But I'm just driving around a little bit. Got my Land Cruiser out. I want to talk a little bit later on in the video about if you... I don't know if you follow channels like this one, you probably have seen other recommended videos pop up about the new Land Cruiser. And I mean, my page is just littered with videos of the new Land Cruiser. They had a reveal, an unveiling. I've got my opinions on it. And I think it's cool that it's coming back in name. But there's things that I really love about the Land Cruiser, and we'll talk about that. Very simple, basic things. And there's some very technical things that make the Land Cruiser what it is and how good. And I'll be curious to see if that one has the same things. I'll talk about it a little bit later on the video, but right now I'm going down this valley here, get set up for cooking some chili cheese omelet. Oh, it's been a long time, my friends. So what I'm going after here is an old favorite of mine that I haven't had in literally maybe 10 years. Continuing on with our chili testing, I got the Marie Callender's Angus beef chili with beans. And I don't know if you don't know what Marie Callender's is. It's like Polly's Pies. It's like one of those kind of restaurants and pie shops. And a lot of like older people like eating there, I guess. Anyway, Marie Callender's. I got myself a different little pack to come out here on these single day trips. It's got a magnetic top instead of a zipper, and it's a lot more high tech than my 20-year-old lunch pail that I used to use. So I've got some Italian parsley. I've got some small baby tomatoes. I've got some cheddar cheese, shredded. I've got some eggs. My big thing of black and tan pepper would not fit in here, so I put it into a little cup like this. And I've got ice and a cold water down in there. Nice little thing. Works out. This is my first time using it. Hopefully it works out pretty good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat the chili in a pot by itself, so it's hot. Make an omelet, and when it's ready, I'll put the chili in the omelet, the cheese, fold it, a little parsley and tomato on top. Hopefully it comes out good. Little black and tan in here. Little breezy. So I was told with an American omelet, you push the sides back, let the liquid come around, where you wouldn't do that with a French omelet. It's on low and slow as I can get it with this wind blowing. My omelet's probably going to be a bit lumpy, but it's just the way I like it. Looks pretty good, right? I think I'm going to actually hit it with a little bit more heat. That's pretty good. One thing I forgot to bring was butter, but I used my olive oil spray to coat the pan. Looks like a giant taco. I think this one deserves a stand up and eat. Look at that. Oh, I hope it tastes as good as it looks. So years ago, at work, we had one of those little restaurants, breakfast, burgers type of thing. And when I was in the office, I was rarely in the office, but when I was, the owner would buy breakfast, and once in a blue moon, I was feeling my oats, and I would get the chili cheese omelet. I always thought it was a chili cheese burrito until I looked it up again. All right, first bite. It's good. So I put, so I got 3 eggs, about maybe a little less than half a can of the chili in here, Sargento sharp cheddar shredded, baby tomatoes, choula, it's delicious, and Italian parsley. I guess the Italian parsley is a little bit bigger. The leaves, wow, that's really good. I don't usually try and do like the toppings, but not only did it make it look pretty, you can taste those tomatoes, and I talked about this last week, the freshness of a tomato when it's hot. I guess bow hunting season is coming up. I just had a couple bow hunters. They're parked a couple 100 meters down that way, sighting in their bows. Talked to them for a little bit. It was pretty cool. Usually I say I like to be solo out here, but once in a while, it's cool to see some other people and talk to them. Especially when they're doing the same type of stuff that I like to do, outdoor stuff. This is really good, as you can tell. I'm mowing it down. So the Marie Callender's chili, it's really good. It's an Angus beef chili, and it's not spicy though. So if you're look, that's fine. If you're a spice person like me, just add it to your own taste. Because if these manufacturers make these things too spicy, it'll stop people from buying them. Can't take the spice out, but you can put the spice in. I don't know if you can see, but what's amazing is it's like it's got a big old dose of choula right there. Woo! It's all staying together, like the chili. I think the cheese perfectly melted, and it kind of glued the chili to the egg. Not like a messy eat, I know you guys are jealous of my super enlarged spork. Everyone always comments about how long it is. And the main reason I had bought this originally was to eat those MRE meals, and more so Mountain House, to get down into the bag. People use these little short spoons, and the food ends up all over their hand. My air. So that's 3 egg omelet with a half a can of chili. Crushed. It was delicious. That, omelets themselves really aren't just a breakfast thing, right? Omelets can be eaten anytime. that would make a really good lunch. You know, I think that a chili cheese omelet is probably push it closer to a brunch lunch type of thing, because I'm fine eating kind of rough stuff in the morning, but most people aren't. You know, you don't want to like power down tacos like we do, or chili or something first thing in the morning. But if you do, if you can, this stuff is really good. But if you're not careful, you're going to need to take a nap afterward. I'm going to clean up a little bit. I'm going to sit down. We'll talk a little bit about the new Land Cruiser. Wow, that was really good. Really, really tasty. That was so good. I don't even feel like lethargic either. I just kind of when I do these day trips, I just wipe the stuff down, and I'll actually wash it really good when I get home. Not out here. It'd bring a lot of water to do that out here. It gets kind of messy. So I bring a bag, wipe it down. Everything wipes down pretty good, put it in the bag. But that turned out really good. It was super simple to make too. That's always one of my favorite things, to get something that's super tasty and that's really easy to make. And like I said, 3 eggs. I just, you know, beat them in a bowl, put a little black and tan salt and pepper in it. And even with the wind, it is so nice up here. I told you guys how nice it was earlier. Once I got up here on top, I'm on a mountain. Up on the mountain, there's a wind blowing. It's blowing this way, so, you know, my table is normally right here. It's coming off the driver's side. I don't know if you could hear it in the camera, but you could hear the burners. They were getting blown over, and I had them very low because I wanted a low, slow heat that I can control that egg. It actually turned out perfect. When I put the chili in there and I flipped it, there was still a little bit of soft, like almost runny part just on the very top edge. And with the hot chili, the cheese, folding it over and then putting the heat on again, it molded all that together. It was pretty good effort for not doing, look, I don't even make omelets. I know most people are probably like, yeah, it's just an omelet. I don't even remember the last time I made an omelet. Last time I ate an omelet was when Niels was down, and he cooked me a Western omelet. He cooked himself a French omelet, and man, that was the fluffiest, most delicious omelet I've had. This was nothing like that. This is kind of like a power meal versus that's kind of like a, you know, posh type meal. At least it felt that way. But I'm super glad I came out today. I've been fiending, you know, to get out and actually do some off-roading and actually do some cooking. You know, it's just, you can come up with a million excuses. At least I can. Too hot. It's been too hot. Rain. I love the rain. But it's mostly been too hot. Right now, it's like I said, it's probably in the 90s, but it's really dry, and there's a wind. Oh, it's so good. It's so perfect out. I love it. You know, I said I was going to talk about the new Land Cruiser in this video, but you know what I want to do? I want to do some research and get some numbers. That way I can talk intelligently about what it is in comparison to the other Land Cruisers that have come before. Because if you didn't know, the secret to the Land Cruiser is its wheelbase. And its wheelbase hasn't changed in like 40 years. So if they changed it now, my curiosity and my caution is that they're using the same chassis on the Sequoia, the Tundra, the Tacoma, and the new Land Cruiser. All 4 are using the same chassis. Now, Land Cruiser always stood out on its own. Are they bringing the Land Cruiser back to the other models? Are they bringing the other models to the Land Cruiser? Some research I want to do before we talk on this, so we'll do that in another video, I think. But for now, I just wanted to share this with you guys. Hopefully, wherever you are, if it's been super hot, it's cooled down a little bit like it has here. And if it has, just get outside, because get that cabin fever going, especially in the summer. You look out and the skies are so blue and you're like, oh my God, I need to be outside. Try and get yourself outside even for a little bit, because it's glorious. It's refreshed me to where I can't even tell you guys. Even those little drives that I was doing last weekend, the weekend before, they helped a lot to kind of tide me over. But to get out, off-road a little bit, set up, cook, and hang out, it's it's been so good. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. See you all next weekend.